Hey, you right guys, Trade Joe here, and today we are going to be going through every TV season that I watched, so that could include like multiple seasons of a TV show, every single one that I reacted to, and any that I watched off camera as well. Be warned, I am super ill today. On the last day of 2021, I'm dying. So I might not be in the biggest. Like, I really was excited for this one because this is obviously what much I'm known for the TV shows. Obviously, I've done a video for films and games that I went through in 2021 as well. But this is the one I was excited for, and I'm like dying. So apologies for that. But yeah, this is what we have here. I think there's around just under 30 on this list, so not a lot, but I'm happy with what I watched this year, and we'll just go through kind of my favourites and rank them. We've got best of the best, fantastic, solid, okay, I guess, and bad seasons of TV shows. So yeah, as always, let me know down below what TV shows you watched this year, what your favourites of 2021 were as well. Obviously, a lot of these seasons did not come out this year. Barely any came out this year, to be fair. I'm just going through any that I've reacted to and watched. Like, we've got ones from the 90s here, so quite a while ago. But starting with Midnight Mass, this is obviously a show that I didn't react to, but it came out on Netflix from Mike Flanagan, who did The Haunting of Hill House, Blind Manor, done some great films like Gerald's Game, Hush. I've seen most of his stuff. I think apart from Blind Manor, I've not seen, and the Doctor Sleep film, which I do want to watch, but I just haven't got around to it yet. And I will watch Blind Manor as well. Midnight Mass, though, I think was maybe my favourite thing that I've seen him create. A lot of dialogue. It's not as scary as like Haunting of Hill House or even some of his films. It's not as eerie or creepy. There are eerie and creepy moments in Mike Flanagan fashion, of course, but this is a very dialogue-heavy TV show. But the dialogue is incredible, and the acting is amazing, and I love, the idea that on this little island is a very tight-knit community, so you really get to know the characters well, and I think it just has a very unique and good story to go along with it. So I'd say it was a fantastic TV show for sure. I think it, like I say, it'd be between this and Haunting of Hill House for me. I think Haunting of Hill House definitely wins on the like creepy, scary factor, but I think this one wins on the characters and the script writing for me. So really enjoyed Midnight Mass. Alice in Borderland Season 1, obviously we only have one season to go off. Finished this about 3 weeks ago, maybe 4 weeks ago, I'm not sure. Really enjoyed the show. I think there are a couple of episodes in there that I felt were a little bit slow. The first episode I wasn't the biggest fan of. Then episodes 2 and 3 were really good. Then the story started to really kick into high gear, and it has some good questions kind of going into Season 2. I think this is one of those shows where, as I said in the reactions, I think they can really improve on the second season. Had some good characters in there, had some fun sequences. I didn't love any of the characters. I think, I'd say I liked a lot of the characters, but I didn't love any of them or anything like that. So I'd say it was a solid TV show. I didn't go in with the highest expectations anyway, and I'd say it pretty much met what I thought it was going to be like. But I do think they can really improve on the second season. If Season 2 is worse than Season 1, that'll be very disappointing. But yeah, very good show. Squid Game, the one that I think this was the show that everyone watched this year, or most. I'm sure there's like 5 people watching this now. Like, I didn't actually watch Squid Game. Yeah, good. But Squid Game, I think, is the show that most people have spoken about this year, and it was there's always that TV show that kind of trends every year that everyone talks about. And this year, it was definitely Squid Game. I loved it. I think the character, it's so easy to say Squid Game's a great, like, I think people are saying it's like one of the best shows of all time. I think is a bit of a stretch, at least in my opinion. If people think it's the best show of all time, that's great. But for me, I think the characters were really solid. The story was, we've seen stories done like this before, but I do think it was done in a very unique way, which made it work for me. As I've said, the colours, the music, it kind of had like a different vibe and feel to any other TV show that I've watched before as well. I think the games were fun. It was always entertaining. I was never bored by any of the episodes. And like I say, to have characters that you actually care about would be interesting. And I said it in Alice in Borderland, but I'll say it again here. Like, Alice in Borderland, I do think can improve in Season 2. This is one of those that I worry they'll beat to death season for season for season, and it'll just start to get worse and worse. Like, I think it'll be hard for Season 2 to be better than this. I think it's possible. But we shall see. We shall see. And again, the VIPs were awful. I just need to say that. So, Squid Game, I'm going to put, I think, above Midnight Mass. I don't think it was quite the best of the best TV seasons I've watched this year, but it was a really solid show. Very rewatchable as well. I think it's just an easy watch, so it's always nice to have a show that's just easy to watch over and over again. So yeah, really enjoyed Squid Game. Gossip Girl, the remake, the HBO version, Gossip Girl 2021. This was one where like episode 1 was here, then as the season went on, it kind of got here, and then I'd say by the end of the entire season, I'd put it here above Alice in Borderland. I was surprised by how much I really liked this show. I think I went in with very, very low expectations, and like I say, it did start off kind of poor. But it's one of those shows actually where at the midway point, I felt like they actually maybe listened to criticisms that people had with the season and improved on all of them. There's still some things I'm not the biggest fan of in this show for sure, but some of the characters, like the flip flopping between the sisters, is just very repetitive. And but I think for the most part, 90% of the characters really work for me. I think the stories are fun. Like, they're fun stories to watch as well. Like watching their lives fall apart and stuff like that. So I'm actually excited for season 2. I'll definitely be there for the second season. And I know HBO, I think it's HBO, are doing a Pretty Little Liars remake as well next year. So we're gonna have Gossip Girl and Pretty Little Liars returning, and a Teen Wolf film. So all these shows that I reacted to like 5 years ago are suddenly being reignited. So that's actually strange. In the same year, we're gonna have Pretty Little Liars come back, Gossip Girl come back, even though it came back this year, but you know what I mean. And then Teen Wolf come back as well. That is strange, but yeah, not complaining because they're all fun shows. Dexter New Blood. As of recording this, there's a couple of here as well that I've not actually finished the entire season 2, but this only has 2 episodes left as of filming this, so I've got a pretty good gist of how I feel about the show. I'm a huge fan of Dexter as the character and the TV show, the original TV show. So I was skeptical with this season. In my head, all I was thinking was like, there's no way it's going to be worse than the last season of the original Dexter, so I mean, at least it has that going for it. And it actually surpassed my expectations in a way. It's very, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I feel like Dexter, the original TV show, like he was going around murdering people all the time. This is very kind of pulled back for Dexter. Like, he's not going around murdering people left, right, and centre. It's more so his kind of relationship with his son. We have a load of new characters there, so him forming a bond with those characters, and then we do have the typical big bad of the season as well, who's very interesting and played very well by, an actor that I won't say just in case people haven't watched the season yet. But yeah, I really, really enjoyed the show. I'm going to put it in fantastic. I think below Midnight Mass. I think the last episode I watched, I think it was episode 8. I think it was probably the weakest episode of the season. It's just Dexter running through the woods for like 40 minutes. So that was a little bit okay. But it's just great to see Dexter done well. And I don't know if they're having a New Blood season 2, but I don't see how they're going to wrap up this entire show in 2 more episodes. So next up we have Ted Lasso season 1. I'm only about 4 or 5 episodes in season 2, so I don't have a general idea of how I feel about that season yet, but really enjoyed the show. I think it's a very easy watch. Episodes are only about 30 minutes long. It's about this coach who taught American football in America. He comes over to the UK to teach soccer, or football. He comes over to teach football, and obviously he's not actually very good at being able to coach football. But it's about the bond he forms with the team, and them kind of hating him when he first comes into it, but then slowly learning to love his little quirks and his character. And yeah, it kind of gets deep quite a few times. I think there's been about 3 moments where it actually surprisingly gets very deep. Touches on him like having anxiety and stuff like that. So yeah, I think it's done very well. The acting's great, but it always kind of keeps to that nice tone about it of it being very easy to watch and very accessible for people as well. So I'm going to put it in fantastic. I think below Dexter, because I think Dexter for me, I love the character so much. I think this was the more fun show for sure, but Dexter I just love, and I think these 3 I have more fun with. But I really like Ted Lasso. It's definitely an easy watch. I recommend it if you just want something to throw on and not think too much about. So yeah, then we have You season 3, a show that I did react to. I'd say I don't know how I feel about You season 3. I think it was fun when I was reacting to it for sure, and I do think I still love the character Love and the character Joe. I think those 2 are great. But I do think there are a lot of kind of down moments throughout the season. It did pick up a lot as well, but it did kind of have this like roller coaster of how I felt about the season. But I do still really like the show. I'd probably put it at the top of solid. I'm just worried about season 4. I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do. Like, you're really gonna have Joe bimbling about. Like, I don't know. I'm worried. We shall see though. Then we have Glee season 6. Yes, I will get back to uploading Glee. I know I've still got to upload season 6 onto YouTube. That will come. Don't worry. In January, I'll get back on that. But I guess spoiling my thoughts on season 6, if you haven't seen those reactions yet, I think it was definitely a huge improvement on season 5, but season 5 would have been there, so it's not saying a lot. I'd say it was okay, I guess. I'm just glad to be done with that show. I think it just really, it kind of just fizzled out. It just fizzled out into nothingness. I do genuinely think there was about 4, maybe 5 episodes in this season that were actually really good. But then that still leaves about 6 or 7 that were just like, what are we doing here, kind of thing. But definitely better than season 5. My God. So I had fun with it, but it's not a show I'd ever go back to. I just think 5 and 6 just killed me. Like, what were they thinking with that? That's Glee for you. Sex Education season 3. I still love this show. I'm still hung up on Ruby and Otis. I think they are the couple that needs to exist in this show for sure. I love them too, and I still love all of the characters. I think there are a couple of storylines in here that I didn't love, but still just as good as 1, 2, and 3. I'd say. I think seasons 1, 2, and 3 are just solid, like all the way along. So I'm gonna put it in best of the best for me. I love Sex Education. I think it's still for me the best Netflix show that exists. So fingers crossed they can keep that track going. I don't want this to become one of those shows like some other shows down here where it starts to turn to shit, but we shall see. Outer Banks season 2. I can't. What's her name? Madison's character. I forgot. Kiara or something like that. Oh my God, I can't stand that character. Like, she still annoys me when I think about her. I'd say it was okay, I guess. I don't know. Like, I had fun reacting to it because it was just so ridiculous at times. I'm like, this is just silly. But I think this is one of those shows where like, this was worse than season 1. And I look at it like, this is a bad season. Technically, like, a really bad season. But I just had so much fun with it. And you can tell the actors are having so much fun filming the episodes. Like, they're just in their element there, and they do have a lot of chemistry between all of them as well. So you can't hate it because it's just a good time watching it. So I'll definitely be back for season 3, but it just is ridiculous and silly, and I just can't stand some of the decision making in this season. Is I think the thing that just really got me. Like, every single character, at least once in every episode, made a piss poor decision. So it's just like, okay, yeah, it just like, you just kind of have to realise, you know what, we'll have fun with it, but these are not smart characters at all, not even in the slightest. So Outer Banks season 2, it was okay. I'd say, like, fun wise it'd be up here, but as an actual season it's going down there. The Witcher season 2, this seems to be like 50-50 on whether people preferred season 1 or people preferred season 2. I still stand by, I think season 1 was slightly better. I think this did better with the characters, but I think in terms of episodes being more entertaining, season 1 kind of had the one-up on it for me. I can see why people prefer season 2 though. I'd say it was solid, but at the bottom. I'd say Alice in Borderland was a bit more fun for me. I am rooting for this show. I really want to be into it, but I just don't think it's there yet. I still think they have a ways to go to make this up there for me. So The Witcher season 2, it was solid, but not. I want it to be here. That's where I want The Witcher to be. I mean, if it wants to be there, then that's fine as well. But I want it to aim to be here for season 3. But at the moment, as it stands, it's going to be at the bottom of solid. I don't think it was quite as, down there as Glee and Outer Banks. I won't, offend it that much. So we'll put it up there for sure. Next up, we have Young Royals season 1, which I reacted to every episode of as well. And people were saying, like, oh, you gotta watch it, it's the new Scam. I said in the reactions to this as well, like, I didn't see it as the new Scam whatsoever. It didn't feel like Scam at all. I think it was, it was great in its own way. I'm not saying it's like worse or better than Scam. I just don't think it was anything like Scam. Anyway, Young Royals season 1, a lot of fun. Really enjoyed these two characters. I think August as well and all the other characters were entertaining to watch. There was a couple storylines in there that I wasn't in love with, but overall, I think it was just very short, so everything moved very quick, which I think was good. Like, it just kind of got on with it. Like, every episode, something new had happened. So, yeah, Young Royal Season 1, I'm going to put up here, probably above Ted Lasso. Not quite as good as Dexter for me, but yeah, this was maybe one of the biggest surprises, because this just kind of came out of nowhere and everyone jumped on it, and it actually was surprisingly really good. So, yep, Young Royal Season 1, I believe. Yes, it's been renewed for Season 2, so that'll be coming out in 2022 for sure. The Last Dance, I wish I reacted to this. This was incredible. I know I'm like a year late with this or whatever, but yeah, a documentary on Netflix kind of about Michael Jordan and Chicago Bulls and their last dance. I don't know anything about basketball. I'm not a fan of like sports in general. Like, I really don't care. So for me to say that I love this, I mean, as someone who's not really a fan of basketball, then yeah. But this was so good. One of the best, if not the best, documentary I've seen ever. So I'm putting it up there. This was one of the best. I don't know if it's the best. We'll have to wait and see where everything else lands. But definitely one of the best TV seasons that I watched. I mean, I guess it's the show because they're only doing one season. But I definitely recommend this. Even if you're not a fan of basketball, just watch like the first couple of episodes. It's incredible. I loved it. I'd rewatch this actually. I might rewatch it next year because it was that good. So I definitely recommend. Got me all teary-eyed like 3 times just because it was so good. Like, it wasn't even sad, it was just done so well. You know, something's done so well and you're just watching it like, this is just fucking incredible. You gotta get a bit teary-eyed. It was really good, so definitely recommend that one. As for one I don't recommend, actually the complete opposite of how I felt about The Last Dance, is Elite Season 4? I think we're on Season 4. The more I think about this season, the more I hate it. Bad. This might be the only bad I put in this entire list. I don't know. Yeah, I think it definitely is actually. Awful. I don't know what they're thinking, like bringing in these new characters, none of them being interesting. The characters that already existed, like Guzman and Nadia, just ruining hours of building on their relationship. You just ruined it for nothing. Like, every character that existed is now awful. So great. I'm not excited for season 5 whatsoever. I'll still react to it just to see if it is somehow worse than this season. That's what I'd be curious about. But this was the seasons 1, 2, and 3 were genuinely so good. I think it was 3. I could be wrong. It might be seasons 1 or 2. I don't know. I lose track because it comes out so often. But Season 4 was something else. I don't know how it plummeted so far down. I'd say the other seasons were up here, like it'd be on this row somewhere. But this season, you're down there. You're in the trash. Awful. Yeah, and the ending as well was just a joke. Like, you had these flash forwards throughout the whole season leading up to this big mystery, and the mystery was just someone fell in the water. I know someone died as well, but that's not what the flash forwards were about, so I'm not including that. The person who died, no one gave a flying fuck about anyway. It's a character who was introduced in like the last 5 minutes. Whatever. Ellie, terrible. I know he wasn't actually introduced in the last 5 minutes, but you know what I mean. People just do nothing. I just bundled all the seasons into one here, because, you know, I feel like it's all pretty much the same show. And I'd have 5 people just do nothing going across anyway, but one of the funniest and most unique comedies I've ever seen. I think it's genuinely hilarious. You know, probably not for everyone, but I had a lot of fun with it. They're only like 20-30 minute episodes, so they're very short. I think they're all on Netflix. So again, it's kind of like Ted Lasso. If you do want to just easy watch, I definitely recommend this. I'm putting it up here, above Young Royals, above Dexter. Not as good as Midnight Mass for me, but yeah, this is one of those that I was surprised by how much I ended up enjoying this one. So I do recommend it for sure. Parks and Rec, seasons 1 and 2 and 3 I think I watched. Again, just bundled it into one because Parks and Rec 1, 2 and 3 I felt the same way about. I'd say it was solid. Not as good as Friends or The Office. I know they're all very different shows, but I just feel like the shows are going to get compared to. Not as strong as those at all, but I'd definitely say it was solid. So I'd put it above Gossip Girl. I'd put it above You as well, actually, yeah. It does have a lot of funny moments. Ron Swanson is fantastic. It does have a lot of great characters in there. And again, very easy watch, so can't complain with that. Supernatural season 1, yeah, okay. I reacted to every episode, and by the end I was like, I get the idea of what Supernatural's about. I don't think, I know I said like, oh yeah, I'll jump in season 2. I don't think I will anytime soon, just because I get the gist. I think it was okay. I just don't think it's really a show for me. I don't really like shows like this where it's dead episodic, like every episode is a new monster. I think it's a cool idea, and it did actually have some episodes in there that were genuinely great. But then there's a lot of episodes in there that were crap, so I'd put it above Outer Banks. At least these two aren't stupid. So yeah, it was okay, but I don't think I'll be watching any more of it. I get the idea. Love, Death Robots season 2, not as good as season 1, but season 1 did have a lot more episodes. I'd say better than The Witcher. Better than Alice. Not as good as Gossip Girl. There were about 3 episodes in here. No, there was 2 episodes that were great. Then the rest were good, and I don't think there was any really bad ones. I think there's one that was kind of weak, but for the most part, it's just they're fun episodes to kind of delve into and see how different the animations are going to look. Excited for season 3. They're just not as good as season 1. Season 1 had about 4 episodes that stuck with me. None of the episodes here really stuck with me or anything like that. So. But it's still a very good show. Friday Night Lights season 1. I'm halfway through season 2. I haven't watched it in a while, but this was fantastic. I really enjoyed this show. Kind of the high school drama of American football, all that shite, but done very well. I think I've got the actor Kyle Chandler, I think, who plays the coach. He's great. I think most of the characters are a lot of fun as well. Some stories do feel very kind of, early, mid-2000s classic love triangle, like all that crap that no one really cares about. But still a very good show. I'd probably put it above Dexter, above people just not as good as Midnight Mass for me. But yeah, I was surprised by how much I enjoyed the show. I think it is a lot of fun. So definitely recommend. Now we're getting into the show. I think I've reacted to all of these apart from this one here. So let's do One Tree Hill. Let's do you. This is One Tree Hill season 2 and One Tree Hill season 3. And I actually, even though I started season 1 in 2020, I finished season 1 in 2021. So I've included it here as well. Season 1, best of the best. I loved season 1. Absolutely fantastic. Better than Sex Ed, yes. I love it. I think all the characters were so much fun. All the stories were so much fun. Like, I was surprised, but I could go back and rewatch season 1. I loved it to pieces. I think all the characters were just great, and they stayed great throughout as well. Like, they've had their ups and downs for sure, but that's going to happen. So, really love season 1. Season 2, I'd say, was solid. Definitely better than you. But yeah, I'd put it at the top of solid. Nowhere near as good as 1. I think the whole Haley storyline in season 2 was just dry. But other than that, I think most of the storylines really worked for me. There was definitely some episode, like Nathan's dream sequence episode in here was crap, but I think it was still decent. Season 3, I've got 1 episode left as of filming this, which I was going to film today. I was actually going to film it yesterday, but I was even worse than I am today. Yesterday, so there was no way I was filming an episode of a TV show yesterday. But hopefully tomorrow. 1st of Jan 2022, I'll finish season 3 of. So technically, I haven't finished that this year. We'll say I finished it this year. No one will care. I'd say best of the best. I don't know. I think season 3 has better storylines than 1, but I think 1 just has that nostalgia feel about it. There's something special about season 1, like the nostalgic vibe about it. So. Better storylines, better nostalgia. So these two could swap either way, I think, but I'll put it there next to it. I love season 3, I think it's great. Friends, we have season 4 and season 5. I know, again, I've not finished season 5 yet. I actually have quite a few episodes still left of 5, I think 8. So, but I know how I feel about 5, and I don't think the 8 episodes are going to change that. So, season 4, absolutely fantastic. I'd put that above Squid Game for me. Just upped the comedy dramatically from 1, 2, and 3. I think the storylines are wonderful. Like, you have characters like Joey finally being great and Phoebe being great, having her own storylines as well. And then season 5 came out and was like, you know what? Everything you liked about season 4, we're going to do it again, but times 20 and just be like one of the funniest seasons of a TV show ever. So, Friends season 5, I'm going to put between these two. Don't know why, I just am. Just so good. It's so good. I've not even finished it, and it's just so good. Every episode I'm having fun with. It's not had one bad episode in the entire season yet. So yeah, I love season 5 of Friends, and I think, you know, four was the season where I like really not started to fall in love with the show, but it was where I was like, yeah, I'm in love with this show. I started to fall in love with it in like season 2, like quite early on, but season 5 was one where I was like, this is, yeah, I can see why this has stood the test of time and why it's still popular to this day. It's incredible. So, yep, love season 5 of Friends. This Is Us season 1. I'd say it's fantastic. Where would I put you? Maybe above Squid Game? Yeah, above Squid Game, not above Friends though. These characters, I feel like they're my family. I get so connected to them. It's like the saddest show. It's like the most depressing show I've ever watched. This is the opposite of what Ted Lasso is. I'll say that. It's like depressing as shit, but done so well. You really care about all these characters, and it's just art. And season 2 of This Is Us was somehow, again, I do have 3 episodes I think left, so not quite there yet, but you know, this was somehow better. I'd say it was there. I love this show. It is like the best show that I'm reacting to at the moment. Like, this is the most fun I have with a show, One Tree Hill is. This is the most laughs and, again, the most fun I have out of it. This is just, in terms of like an actual quality drama that I'm like, I don't know how to explain it, because all 3 of these, I've done well with the shows I'm reacting to. Like, look at all 3 of these right next to each other. So, but This Is Us for me, I think, just has the edge slightly in terms of the better show for me. That's something about it really works. So, the Vampire Diaries series 1, season 2 I would have put in here, but I still have about 10 episodes left. And I think with like a show like Friends, where I do have 8, it's like they're all their own episodes. Whereas this is the continuation of the storyline for the most part. So, the Vampire Diaries season 1, I'd say, put in fantastic. I just have so much fun with it. Damon, great characters. Stefan and Elena, good. I just think the cast of characters really work for this one. Like, the storyline isn't the most engaging or most interesting, but I just have like their little mystic falls. It's just like a nice vibe about it, and the characters for me are just what really hold it up to being entertaining constantly. So I'd put it below Dexter for me, but season 2 is even better than this one. So season 2 would have been higher somewhere. Season 2 is getting really good where I'm at. So, and finally we have Succession season 1, which I finished yesterday. I did the finale of season 1, and I've done 2 episodes of season 2. I binged 3 episodes back to back, which I rarely do, especially with hour-long TV shows. I rarely do that, so it says how good this is. This might be the best script I've watched in a TV show out of all these. The script here is incredible. The acting is even better somehow. It's like, it's one of the most unique shows I've seen. The music, that theme for the intro is so good. HBO somehow managed to make intros that you just never want to skip. So I'm putting it as best of the best. Probably below This Is Us season 2. I think it's hard to say, because This Is Us season 2, it's like I care about the characters more, whereas these characters you love, but they're all awful people. Like, this might be the one show where you hate every single main character, but you love them so much as well. I don't know how to explain it. Like, you hate them all, but you love them all so much. I recommend giving the first episode a go. It might not be for everyone, because it is very, you know, just script and dialogue, but done so well, and the story is so interesting. And some people are saying season 2 is even better, and then I think season 3 is just finished. So I'm very excited for that as well. But yeah, they are every TV season that I watched in the year. So my favourite was The Last Dance. I think it was absolute 10 out of 10. This is 10 out of 10. This I've not rated yet, but it's probably going to be a 10. This was a 9. This was a 9. This I've not rated yet. I'm going to actually wait Did I finish that? This was probably, I've not rated that yet. Sex Ed, I think I gave an 8. And yeah, all these, so I'm happy with that. The only really bad season I watched this year was Elite. That was just actual garbage. This actually had good episodes, so I can't put it down there. This, while the script and the characters really pissed me off, it was just fun. Supernatural, fun, but it did have a lot of bad in there as well, and it's just not a show I need to continue with. I get the idea. All these are solid. Midnight Mass was special. I can't put it above Squid Game though. Squid Game is just so much fun. I love Squid Game. Yeah. I'll put this below Squid Game, I think. This is season 1. This was very unique. Season 2 is just enhanced from This Is Us season 1. So, yeah, I'm happy with that list. I think it's been a pretty good year, actually. Like, we've not really watched anything truly awful apart from Elite. Everything's been... We've had a lot of best... I know I didn't react to this, I didn't react to this, but we've had a lot of quality seasons here. Reacted to all these, apart from this, this, and this, and this. So I actually didn't react to this. I didn't react to all of these, but reacted to a lot of those, which is nice. Didn't react to this, but I don't think I needed to react to that. Yeah, what's been your favourite TV season that I've reacted to this year, maybe? And then what TV show have you watched in your own time that's been a lot of fun for you as well? Let me know down below. Sorry, I've been very ill and just getting through it, but I wanted to get this up on the last day of the year. I didn't want it to be the 1st of Jan because I've tried to do one of these every day. But that's every film that I've watched, every game that I've platinumed, and every TV season that I've watched this year ranked. These are all fun to do, and I will do it again next year for sure. Like, to think this time next year when I'm doing this, we'll have the Lord of the Rings TV show on here somewhere, the Last of Us TV show on here somewhere, Stranger Things Season 4, Euphoria Season 2, the Game of Thrones spin-off, which I'm kind of sceptical about just because I'm still pissed off at Game of Thrones, but that's still coming. Yeah, we've got some good things coming, and then we'll have like Friends 6 and probably 7, maybe 8, I don't know. Maybe I would have started 8. I don't think I'm not finishing Friends next year, definitely not. I'm aiming to do finish season 5, get season 6 done, and get season 7 for sure. So, yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Let me know what you thought of 2021's TV shows, and I'll see you next year for another tier list of this. Until then, take care. Peace.